Can you all see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna call to order here at 12:04 p.m. Mountain Time. I just want to confirm quorum.
So I believe
So,
everybody in LSC but Travis is here.
but Travis, okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So we're just missing Travis. So, um, before we start, when someone wants to adopt and second, can you call out your name first and then say that I would like to make a motion or and I like to second so that because I am recording this and then it would just help me with the minutes at the very end. Okay, so who would like to make a motion to adapt the agenda?
I make a motion to adopt the agenda.
And that is Eric.
Yeah, this is Eric.
Okay, who was second?
Wilfred, I second the motion.
Awesome. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any nays? Okay, the motion is moved. It has been passed to adopt the agenda. We're going to be doing the Indigenous Peoples Land and Territory. Territory. Sorry. Does anyone want to read it? Let me just pull it up. Can you guys? Does anyone want to read it? No? Okay, so I recorded it. Um, and I will read it out loud. So,
founded in 1889, the University of New Mexico sits on the traditional homelands of the Pueblo of Santia. The original peoples of New Mexico Pueblo, Navajo, and Apache since time immemorial have deep connections to the land and have made significant contributions to the broader community statewide. We honor the land itself and those who remain stewards of this land throughout the generations, and also acknowledge our committed relationship to Indigenous peoples. We gratefully recognize our history.
and then I'll also like to read the labor and sacrifice of the Black Americans. So let's read that one.
At UNM, we respectfully acknowledge the traumatic history of forced labor of Black Americans who have advanced our country. We are indebted to the enslaved and exploited African Americans who established our U.S. infrastructure and economy, advanced civil rights, and continue to influence popular culture. We are obligated to continuously recognize historic and current systemic oppression and injustices placed on Black Americans. We are grateful to their ancestors, for without them we would not be where we are today.
Okay. So since I did not conduct the meeting, the last meeting here, I do not have the minutes from the last meeting, but I noticed with all the other meetings, and especially for finance, the approval of minutes is going to be the recording of the Zoom. So I'll be putting that all together and sending that over to Kaya so that she can approve. Oh, so she can put it in the website, so anyone that misses anything will be able to watch it, and it's all public. So, um, but Jared, if we don't have that, do we still approve the minutes?
Well, I have the recording.
Okay, you have the
Um,
recording. Okay.
Yeah, but not actual written minutes. I mean, if you want to just move forward and do the recording, I mean, I don't see why not. We can just
Okay,
do
so anyone that wants to make a motion to approve the minutes, that will be posted on the GPSA website, listed LSC meetings. Anyone want to make a motion? And you could call out your name first and then make a motion, and someone seconds, call out the name first and second.
Hello.
Wilfred,
Yes.
you awesome.
Yeah.
Are
So
you
yeah, I was in the last meeting, so I think that I want to move the motion to approve the minutes. Thank you.
okay? Awesome. Wilfred just made a motion to move it. Who would like to second?
Basirat, second. I second.
So I'm bossing out seconds. Awesome. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Some all in favor, say all opposed. Okay. The motion to approve the minutes has passed. We're now going to be moving on to open business, opening up the gallery, any public comments, media, anything related to the agenda, and that's not related to the agenda. Okay, give it a moment. Okay, well, we're going to be moving on. We do have a guest speaker. This is our GPSA grants chair, Aaron. He has a bill that would like to pass with us today, so he's going to explain everything about it. I did send out an email just explaining everything, since we are mostly confirmed in quorum. This would be perfect to hopefully pass the bill. So Aaron, do you need to share your screen? Aaron, are you still there? Are you there?
Lava.
Aaron? Oh, I just
Yeah.
added Aaron back in. Can you hear me, Aaron?
I can hear you. Sorry
Okay,
about
cool.
that.
Do you need to share? Do you need to share your screen?
Yeah, let me try to do that. Thank you for having me. I don't think I'll do my video because it seems to freeze my program.
Oh no, it's okay.
Every time I do that, but yeah, let me try to share.
And if it gives you problems, then I will give you access to
Yeah,
share. Okay, so let me just put, okay, you should have the option to share your screen.
perfect. Okay. Well, thank you again for having me. So my name is Aaron Sherrod. I'm the grants chair. And grants has been busy this fall. One of the things we've been doing in addition to awarding grants has been working through a pretty comprehensive update to the grants code section of the bylaws. And just really like to thank the grants committee for all their support and feedback and working through this entire process. I know Wilfred's on here. He's been rather instrumental in getting us to this point. So with that said, what we're hoping to do is really get through a big amendment to the grants code section that would do a few things. One, it would really streamline and better organize kind of the flow of the grants code section of the bylaws, providing just another level of clarity and really hopefully getting rid of some ambiguities in the code, and just making more clear the application requirements, scoring criteria, deadlines, as well as one of the things I think we're all very excited about is financially, grants has been in a very good position. We have, with all the grant programs, we have pretty good reserves built up, especially with the student research grant. We have pretty deep reserves, professional development grant as well. So we're in this position where some of these grant programs, the maximum award amounts have not been changed in perhaps since the grants started in the mid-90s, some in early 2000s, and the GSF grants in 2011. In that time, as far as we understand, maximum award amounts haven't changed. So we're looking at doing a couple things to, one, to get more money in students' pockets, given, in that time, I think the figure is like, the dollar is worth basically 40%-ish of what it was, when some of these grant programs started. So while costs of everything have increased, our maximum award amounts for these grants haven't. And so we're working towards kind of inching in the direction of finding a balance where, one, we can increase the number of awards, we can increase some of the award amounts, while also monitoring and seeing, where this gets us in terms of slowly, hopefully eating into some of the reserves, because we do have some big pots of money that have built up. So with that said, I'll dive in and talk about kind of each of the programs and what we're looking at as we go through here. So the big one being in was listed here is maximum award of 500 to maximum award of 600, and the student research grant from 500 to 750, simultaneously increasing each of those grant programs from awarding 30 grants in the fall and spring semesters to awarding 35, along with increasing the number of awards, the graduate scholarship fund awards, from 20 to 25 in the fall and spring. And of note, one thing that's been a massive barrier to students applying for the graduate scholarship fund to date has been this kind of a letter of support that's required from a faculty member for that grant, which kind of creates a weird and kind of interesting tension where we have this letter for support requirement, but it's a need-based scholarship, and it's almost asking faculty that, in most instances really have no business being aware of a student's financial position, kind of questions about that and writing a letter that's somewhat responsive to that. So given that 40% of the graduate scholarship fund scoring comes from the financial aid office and based on state aid form or FAFSA form information provided by those, we just really don't see at this point a need for this letter of support for the graduate scholarship fund, and just seems to have created a barrier to getting those grants awarded. So with that being said, given we are in the middle of our annual grant cycle. The one change that we've written in, making it effective when the next annual grant cycle starts on June 1st, would be the increase in the grant awards. And that's really to help avoid any issues that would arise by making those increases kind of mid-cycle this year, when we've already awarded summer and fall grants, and creating kind of this imbalance by increasing those midstream. So we see that becoming effective next June 1st when the new funding cycle starts. Just stripping some language that really isn't needed anymore. We've got a midnight close of business. It's, I think, making some adjustments that better work with award spring, and just in terms of the flow of expectations, giving a little more time for the grant program, especially in the fall, for the deadline. And part of that reason is because as of last year, and now we're in the second year of offering the health sciences rural rotation grants, which creates almost a separate grant cycle that occurs after a regular grant cycle every summer, fall, and spring semesters. And along with that, of course, additional work. So I think timing and being a little more flexible in terms of deadlines works on our end as well as for students. Of course, we no longer have a need. Everything's distributed through the bursar's office, so we don't have this requirement of students picking up awards. So the instances here, we just are getting rid of language that's just no longer relevant to the grants program and how things have been operating for some time. Clarifying, what we mean by per year. Our year starts with the summer funding cycle and then the fall and the spring. Let's see. As I'm scrolling through, please let me know if you have questions. A lot of this is, just changes to better articulate kind of what the purpose of things are, or where you can find, Article 9 is the grants code. So just being particular in terms of ensuring that our language is accurate within the code. You're getting rid of the letter of support, the statement of support for the GSF grant, spelling out the basic application materials that are needed for each of the grant types. Not much is changing with grant readers. So grant scoring is a big one. We're eliminating a lot of language because as things have operated, I think the past several years since we've had the WordSpring platform, is that grant readers are randomly assigned by the program to applications, whereas in the past, when things were happening manually, there was a, I guess, concerted effort to kind of recruit and align grant readers. That being said, just looking at the colleges and departments where grant readers are coming from, we do have actually pretty good balance and a pretty good core group of grant readers at this time. Let's see, in addition to that, eliminating just language that's redundant. So below you'll see in sections 2, 3, 4, and 5 that pertain to each of the grant programs, scoring criteria, requirements, everything's kind of elaborated per grant program. So again, just streamlining and making our grants code better organized. Here again, we're increasing GSF awards to 25 in the fall and spring. SRG awards proposing to increase from 30 to 35 in the fall and spring. And the same with the PDG grant, increasing from 30 to 35. The NMRG, New Mexico Research Grant, currently the number of maximum awards is not spelled out, so adding that to the bylaws. Now, I will note that each of the grants chair does currently have discretion to award more grants. If there are, like this year we had in the fall, we actually ended up having 193 total applications, which was about 20% more than last year. And nearly half of those were from just for student research grant applications. So given our reserves, we have about a $277,000 reserve for the student research grant. We ended up making significantly more than 30 awards using the grant chair discretion for this fall semester. So there also is that flexibility when there is kind of a flood of qualified applications and the funds are there. Let's see, what else do we have here? Our appeals process remains the same. Just striking some language that is unnecessary, updating some other things. So one big piece is adding the graduate scholarship fund. This grant program currently is not in the bylaws, so adding it to the bylaws and spelling out, the basic requirements, the history of the program, the types of activities funded, the amount of funding, the application requirements, which are things we're currently doing. It's just that this program itself is not currently in the bylaws. So, and here we get to the 40% of the overall score coming from financial data, from the financial aid office, 60% coming from the proposal itself, which is how things are currently operating. But the one big thing is, again, getting rid of that letter of support that we're currently requiring. And then the student research grant. We're doing a couple of things with this in particular. So in addition to just clarifying some language, we're getting rid of the requirement, the software requirement, for two reasons. One, we generally don't get many software requests to begin with. But from feedback we've received, often if there is software available, a lot of it is limited to use. I know there's been like a statistical software that's been mentioned that there is limited use on campus, but only on campus. And so that also kind of creates a barrier and inflexibility that we think is just not needed currently to kind of have that limitation. In addition to that, we're just clarifying some of the things about the number of awards, or sorry, the number of words is 700. In the current bylaws, there's a discrepancy. I think it's listed at 750 in one section of the grants code and 700 in another. And we're using the 700. It's what AwardSpring is set at. So clarifying some of those things, that's similar to the professional development grant. It has a similar current discrepancy in the bylaws, and so we're adjusting that to the sticking with the 700. In terms of the budget and funding requirement for this grant, we are eliminating current requirement that applicants have pursued outside funding. And this will do a couple things. One, we think it kind of creates some inequity in terms of both students that may have access and given their degree they're pursuing, or maybe the different types of funding available through their department, and those that don't have such opportunities on that side of things. And then I know on the scoring side of things, I can see that that it's created confusion as to how, among grant readers, how to award points, because there isn't necessarily I guess there's a kind of an ambiguity in terms of, whether we're awarding points based on if they have received outside funding, if they've pursued it, kind of what that all looks like, and then how many points are awarded. So while the budget template will still require that applicants note if they do have outside funding, and that being kind of a check on ensuring that people aren't double dipping, that they aren't seeking funding for activities that they already have funding for. We just don't feel that there's really a need to award points based on whether or not they have secured outside funding. We just see it as kind of an inequity written into the grant code right now as it stands. I won't spend much time on the PDG because it's the things I've noted for the student research grant, the SRG, are also applicable to the PDG. Eliminating some of the same provisions and just streamlining some of the language. Again, the big thing though is that we're proposing that we increase the maximum award amount for the SRGs from 500 to 750. But we're proposing that we only increase the maximum award amount for the PDG grants from 500 to 600. And in large part, that's also a function of having smaller reserves in the PDG grant program. So then the New Mexico Research Grant, as it currently stands, I think all in all, the language is pretty good. It's just clarifying some things, like there was at one time, and as the current language stands, it follows like the state fiscal year. And this is now, I guess there really isn't a reason that we aren't following our annual funding cycle with this, especially given what we ask of applicants in terms of when activities happen. I think this is just going to provide huge clarification both to grant readers, to the grants chair, and to applicants too in terms of timing. One question that I've gotten throughout the fall with the NMRG awards is there is a prohibition on funding salaries or payments, but making explicit that small participant incentives and some reasonable contractual expenses are allowed within that grant. And just eliminating some language that's redundant with what we have up in section 1 and kind of the overview section. And then adding some additional language as well about what a complete application is, and just, I guess, better articulating what is required for each type of application, because there are two types, a high priority and a general priority. So making more explicit kind of what the difference is between the two, that the NMRG is really tied to funding research projects that in some way benefit the people of New Mexico. Adding budget language in here. Again, just getting rid of some unnecessary language and adding the scoring criteria similar to the other grant programs for the NMRG. So with that, please let me know if you have any questions for me, any questions generally about the grants program, questions about our, I guess, proposed changes. Yeah, I'm here to answer anything you may have.
So it's open for anyone that has any questions for Aaron about the bill. Jared, applause. I think this is a good one. Honestly, the grant looks like you guys did a wonderful job by spending time on getting this crafted, and I think this is going to help a lot of students, honestly.
And I'll just give real quick a shout out to Aoni and the grants committee last year, because I know they got the ball rolling on this, and did a lot of work on their end and helping us get to where we're at. So
Okay, we're still open for questions, comments, concerns. Going once, going twice. Awesome. So thank you so much, Aaron, for sharing all of this. We will be voting later on in this meeting. Once it's been passed, it will be sent out to main council, and that's going to be happening on the 18th of November at 10 o'clock on Zoom. So you're more than welcome to stay, Aaron, but if you guys have any questions about anything related to grants, just email Aaron at the GPSA grants email, or just come to the office. He's usually there. You're usually there on Wednesday.
yeah, I'm there Tuesday and Thursday morning and Wednesday afternoon.
Awesome.
Typically,
so if anyone has any questions or just a little bit confused at some of the lines, he is the best person to get that question answered to. So yeah. Well, thank you so much, Aaron. So I'm gonna share my screen again to go back to the minutes. Oh no, the agenda. Awesome. So we are moving into officer reports. So the first one that's in line is Jared. So Jared, you can share your screen if you need to present anything. Yeah, but you have the floor.
Cool. I guess I'll save it for the action items mostly. Hey everyone, I hope everyone here is doing fine. As for council chair reports, pretty much what's happened since our last meeting is the collaboration with the union. We started bargaining on behalf of graduate student workers and with the university. And in those negotiations, pretty much the university, we asked the university for a 20% raise for graduate workers to combat inflation and other aspects. Inflation increased, like, which comes with inflation, increased in groceries, increased in everything, and then they came back with slicing it down back to a 5% raise. So there's kind of a discrepancy between where we believe the raise should be, and that's really the only part of bargaining that's happening in the whole aspect of the collective bargaining agreement. Other things are that I wrote a bill to kind of help with council recorder. As you can tell, minutes are difficult to do. They're very tedious. And maybe this could just be solved if we could just post a YouTube video. I'm not sure. I'll have to talk to Ryan about this. But getting council recorders paid has been something that's been more difficult than it needs to be in regards to my ability to pay a council recorder. Uh, in the aspect how it's defined in the bylaws, it's similar to how all of you got elected to your LSC positions, and we'll go more into it when we look at the bill. And followed by Resolution 1F, which I just sent, is in support of the union. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's shorter than the one last year, mostly just kind of giving an update and then what a grad worker can do to find ways to, by the end of the day, increase the overall raise that is needed, because the more people that sign union cards, the more people that fill out the compensation survey go a long way in providing the union with statistics so that they can better negotiate, and then they can show a stronger force and a stronger unity amongst grad workers that can then lead to uh, a better outcome. So the increase in wages is not just so grad students can get more money, it's so grad students can afford a place to live where they don't have to worry about being exposed to any sort of violence or assault or anything like that. It also advocates for international students as well, which that way there's that discussion being made where international students can and have the obligation to, reap the benefits of coming to this country. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Any comments? Okay, so we're gonna Jared is going to share his screen on the action items, just explaining about the bill and the resolution. And once we discuss about it, we'll be voting on that.
Do you want to do that after your report?
I think I would do that after my report, so that
Okay,
at
cool.
least makes it a lot easier. So for my report, it's gonna be just short and simple. Um, I did talk to an admin, the chief of staff, and also the office manager about what's happening overall with volunteering into all of our events. So any event that we're going to have, I will relay it to the PR, and the PR is gonna contact you guys if you guys want to volunteer or just help out. That will just, if you have already volunteered for any of the events, you are good to go. But if you haven't yet, definitely please do so. It is really important as council members, especially LSC members, to volunteer. It shows the student body that we care about them, but then also it shows that we are all in this together, and because one person or two people can't do it by themselves. Again, we did um, vote on changing the date for our next meeting to be on the 22nd of November. So remember that it's going to be fully online, and we're not meeting in person, or so it's not hybrid, it's going to be fully online like today at 7 o'clock. So if you're unable to make it, you're heading out of town, just send me a message there. But in case if we do need to pass things, we do need to make quorum. So do not forget. Um Again, council meeting is going to be next Saturday at 10. Everything else, I think I'm good. Am I doing well? My question to you guys overall is that how am I doing? this is my first time conducting this meeting. How am I doing? Am I doing good? Anyone? I'm good? Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, so moving on to any committee reports. Eric, do you have anything to report on for finance? Eric, are you there? Eric, can you hear me? Okay, he's connecting his audio. Can you hear me, Eric? I think he is having audio problems. Let's see here. Can you hear me, Eric? Okay, we're gonna if you can't connect to your audio, that's totally fine. Then we're just gonna skip, but I think
Ashley, can you hear me now?
uh-oh.
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Oh.
so we're gonna move on to the action reports. And then from there, if anyone does want to add anything else, we can just finish it up at the end. Okay, so let's discuss the bill F 2023-001. Do we need to make Jared, do we need to make a motion to discuss
Um,
the bill?
I think we could open it up for discussion. Yeah, I guess we can do that. Better
Can you
to
guys
do it
hear
than
me?
to
I
not do it.
cannot hear anyone. Hold on for a sec. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, were you guys able to hear me before?
yeah.
Did it? Okay. Uh, for some reason, I could not hear my audio. Um, so Eric's speaker is not working. So uh, um, again, for finance, simple. I think we passed everything except for one. I think we need to we will need to for our main council change the amount. I believe, let me review who was it that we needed to change. It was, so I can bear with me. So it was Bangladesh, um, student associations. We needed to change just a couple of things from there. So in May, for our main meeting next week, we just need to change the amounts because it's a little bit too much above the appropriation ask from there. And I believe we accidentally passed it. So that is something that we're going to work on next week. So we're just going to move on to action items. So do we need to again, because I didn't hear you, do we need to make a motion to discuss the bill, or is it, do we just go straight to it?
Uh, let's do a motion since the action item says to discuss rather than
Okay,
to approve. Let's go
to
ahead and make
approve.
a motion to discuss.
Okay, so Who wants to make a motion to discuss the Bill F 2023-001? And I need to hear your first name before you anyone want to make a motion to discuss?
Sorry, which bill is that?
That's Bill F 2023-001. Jared is gonna explain more about the bill, but we do need to make an motion to discuss it.
Right, so I, Wilfred Padmore, I move the motion to discuss Bill F 2023-001.
Awesome. Rayford just made a motion. Who would like to second?
Blessing
You're right.
seconded. Oh,
I heard Blessing first, so Blessing seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Only heard a couple of people.
hi.
Okay. Um,
Aye.
any aye, okay, any opposed? Awesome, this motion to discuss has passed. So I will go over and give the mic to Jared as he's gonna explain Bill F 2023-001.
Well, thanks, Ainsley. So, I'll start with some pretext. So, Maya, one of our council members, generously decided to do the minutes of the last meeting. And through that process, I wanted to compensate her $50 for the meeting. But because of our bylaws and where they're stated, a council recorder needs to be selected by the council chair and approved by majority vote at the first council meeting of the session. Pretty much exactly the same as how all our LSC members got elected. And then the recorder should also be a GPSA member who's not serving as a council rep as well. So and then the recorder may serve in another that. Yeah, that's kind of just unimportant. And then so the reason why is because last year, the council recorder, I mean, writing the minutes historically has been a very difficult job to get volunteers to do, let alone signing someone up to do it for every single council meeting. Where I have found success has just been asking people if they would do the minutes once, and in return paying them a $50 stipend, which is allotted in our budget to give out for the minutes. They take me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to do every single time. So you're watching the meeting and typing down things that are being said. I have never been compensated for doing the minutes. It's just kind of something that it would be nice that if someone else did it, I could focus those 2 hours doing something else more productive to GPSA, and the person who's doing it could get the stipend as well. Because when I do it, I don't get the stipend, and then I also lose 2 hours of my time. And kind of moving on to in the past as well, we have done it the way that I mentioned, where we didn't really follow these bylaws unknowingly, and it's shown success. Our past council member Kodiak, I'm not sure if some of you remember them, but Kodiak was able to do the minutes and then get paid the $50, and it went off without any sort of disruption, or we were able to stay within the Open Meetings Act and everything like that. So I think this is just a barrier that makes my position a lot harder than it needs to be, than if I were to just be able to have the power to assign the council recorder to who I need when they need them, and then not have to abide by rules that seemed like they were in place as a good kind of thought process, but when it comes to actually implementing these and trying to streamline and make our government more efficient without really, in a way that doesn't really, this is a power that gives me the ability to do my job more effectively rather than being able to be hindered by a process that doesn't really seem to be protecting anybody from anything, in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Are there any comments or questions?
So this is the bill that we would like to try to pass. So if you haven't read it yet, please do so. And if you have any questions, now is the time to ask. Okay.
Just a quick question.
Mhm.
Sure, Wilfred.
Yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, I thought that it's always been at the discretion of the council chair to appoint who the recorder is, right?
Right. That's what was done in practice, but based on the language of our bylaws, that was actually against the bylaws. So this is pretty much putting into what has been done in practice officially.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in this case, does it mean that the council chair will have to consult with some people before they appoint who the recorder is, or the council chair can then easily appoint someone just because they said the recorder shouldn't be like a council member or like serving any position in GPSA? Is that what it is?
I guess technically, if I'm reading it, true. I mean, if you want a motion, we could do something like this.
Well, that's my personal view of the matter. I feel that it shouldn't be
I agree.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it should be straightforward that the council chair can then appoint somebody to take care of the minute just to lessen the burden on the chair, and then we can get council running as fast as possible. So yeah, this shouldn't be a problem at all. Thank you.
Okay. So do you think that this line should not, or this part of line 37 should not be struck through?
Let me see that. So
And it's all, I have it right here, if you can't, right on this section here. So line 37, line 38.
So pretty much what I unstruck was the recorder shall be a GPSA member. So that
I think so, because if somebody is serving as a council representative, I'm not sure it has any like conflict of interest whatsoever. So I think we should strike that out. Yeah.
okay. Do we have to do a motion to change to unstrike this part of 37? I believe we have to.
So someone will have to make a motion to unstrike. So would you, Wilfred, would you like to make a motion to unstrike line 37?
So let me be clear. So who is
Yeah.
doing the striking right now? That's Gerard, right?
Yeah, that was me who did that. But
Yes, and I am saying that I think I believe with a striking, in the sense that if somebody is a seven member on council, I don't think it should really have an issue being appointed to be the recorder. So I think we should strike it out, not to unstrike.
Okay, not to unstrike. Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
So the way that you have it as is just keep it as is instead of just changing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was as is at the beginning like this.
No, so we should strike it out. Yes.
Oh, so you want the whole line, you want the whole item B to be struck.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that the council chair has the power to appoint somebody to be the recorder, and it should be irrespective of the person being a council member or not. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, true. And then where I'm coming from is if we unstrike it, then because technically right now, as I'm rereading this, I could technically pick an undergraduate or say someone just off the street, and that would still technically be within the bylaws. So that's kind of something that, I don't think it would be abused, but it's just something to consider.
I
Yes.
think probably I think probably what I would recommend anyone that is in a uh graduate or professional
Exactly.
professionalism
Yes.
program that is credited would be perfect just to add on there so that if if they go back and say if anyone, especially an undergrad or just not even a non-UNM student, is appointed at least by the next council, then next council chair, it's not going to be confused. But Eric has a question, so Eric, you can go ahead and answer away. Hopefully your bike works.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, with regards to the recorder stuff, I don't think I agree with what Wilfred is talking about. Yeah, we know that the council chair has the power to like, you know, nominate anybody, anyone to like be a recorder. But I think the person should be part of the council uh, committee. You should be a member of the council because you can't just bring someone outside the council to just come be the recorder. He or she may not know the terminologies we're using, may not know what is happening and everything. So we need someone that is inside the game, inside the team, that will be recording everything. Sometimes he or she may be able to like write something that he heard and the recording did not catch. So I think, in as much as Gerald has the right to nominate someone to be the recorder, the person has to be a member of the council. That's just my opinion.
If I may.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I think Eric, we are saying the same thing, just that in a different way. So what I'm saying is that the council chair must be given the power to appoint somebody to be a recorder. As it stands now, it says that this person should not be serving as a council representative. And I am saying that so once the council chair has the power to appoint, the person should, if the person is even serving as a council member, it shouldn't be a barrier at all. That's what I'm saying. So I think we are saying the same thing, but in a different way.
Okay. And then how about what are your thoughts on it just being it has to be a GPSA member? So anybody who's in a graduate program that
Yes, I
pays
agree.
the $25 student fee.
Yes, GPSA member. We should put that restriction there. Yes.
So then that would go back to the motion stating that we should unstrike this part that's highlighted in gray.
Okay. So I, Wilfred, move the motion to unstrike. That's 37B, right?
Yeah, I think that's a good compromise between what Eric and you are saying, Wilfred.
Yeah.
Okay, so Burford just made a motion to unstrike line 37. Does anyone want to second? Okay, Bonzian just seconded, or is that a
So
question?
I have a quick question. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that member of GPSA is anybody in a graduate program or a professional program on campus, right?
I would say a GPSA member is anybody who pays the fee. So I think there are some graduate programs that do not pay. Like I think one of them is the Ainsley, you might know it better. It's the online MBA program. I don't
Mm.
think actually pays the GPS fee, but they
We
still
do. We
Oh, they
do.
do?
I'm
Okay.
on an online. I'm on an online for the cybersecurity, and I have I on my Bursar's account it shows GPSA. It's any program, especially online or in person, that is accredited graduate or professional a program. So, but if you're a non-degree, you can't.
Okay. So that's just if you're just taking classes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clarify that.
So there is still a motion to unstrike line.
Yeah, I second that motion.
Okay, you second it? Okay, so all in favor? Do we need to vote? Do we need a poll or do you just all everyone call out?
I recommend you do a poll.
Okay.
And then it'd be line 37 up to the word member.
Okay, line 37 up to the word member. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the poll should be up. And you're more than welcome to answer it.
So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 votes.
6 votes. Okay.
Yeah. It seems like Becca isn't in here anymore.
Okay. So I have okay, one more vote.
So we are missing Becca, Travis, and I think that's it because I think you technically make 7.
7. And I
Yeah.
don't I won't be okay. Becca is coming back.
I actually, off the top of my head, I think you only vote if it's a tie. I think that's the same rule that apply to the council chair. Like I only have a vote in council if it's tied.
If it's tied, okay.
Yeah, I almost had to use that for the student fee bill.
That makes
So
sense.
that would have been nuts.
Hey Becca, if you can hear me, we would need your vote.
Oh,
And
Becca's back. Nice.
we need your vote, and I'm just gonna have a couple of minutes voting on this, and then we can end the poll.
And then in the future, Ainsley, don't forget to put abstain.
Oh, abstain. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, don't worry. I forgot it my first poll too.
Okay, we're gonna wait one more minute here. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll. Perfect. So I can share. Can you guys see the polls here? The poll.
Yep,
So
and then I would
uh
download the results too.
okay, perfect. Let me should I just screenshot it or is there a way to download the poll?
I think there's like the three dots, and then you can export or download results, and it will give you all the results and the names of who voted for what in an Excel
Okay,
spreadsheet.
cool. And I will get that there. Perfect. Awesome. So I'm gonna stop sharing. So the vote to motion to change to unstrike line 37 has been passed. So I will unstrike it.
Oh, I think I'm still sharing.
Oh, you're still oh,
So now we can, I guess if everyone's satisfied with that, we can move to vote on the bill entirely.
okay. So does anyone else have any questions or about the bill before we pass before we motion to vote on the bill?
Very Ansley, I just saw the in line 37 there. It's only unstriking it up to the word member.
Oh, up to the word member. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
let
think
me
that was the agreed, because then if it was unstriked all of 37.
okay. So
So
perfect.
the
Thank you.
vote said the poll said up to the word member.
Word member. Thank you. Sorry, for some reason my wireless mouse is not working, so I'm using my tripod. So thank you so much for catching that.
Yeah.
Yes, let me save that. Okay, so since I haven't heard anything else about any questions or any concerns, so who would like to can we can someone also make a motion to block vote this or just or is this gonna be um another poll that I do have to create? Jared. You guys, I'm learning. um so I think if anyone wants to motion to vote on this bill, can I get someone to motion on it? Wilfred?
Okay. So I, Wilfred, without any amendment to the bill, I move motion to block vote for the passing of this bill. Thank you.
Okay, who wants to second
Seconded by
that?
me.
Okay, perfect. Second by Eric. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? All opposed? Okay, so the motion has passed to block vote. So let me create another poll here to block vote. Hopefully you guys will get it here. Okay, it should launch. You may vote. So I need 7 people to vote. As of right now, I only have 3. So 7 people. So 4 more needs to vote. The poll should be open.
I think you lost Becca again.
We lost Becca again. Okay. So 6 votes. We only have 3. Okay, I need 2 more votes. Please make sure that you're checking the poll. One more vote. We're gonna wait in a little bit here for anyone. We got one more person that needs to vote. Then I'll close the poll. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The poll is closed. I am sharing the results. So the bill has passed from the 5 out of 6. So thank you so much. Perfect. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I'll be sharing the results here. Let me download the results. Okay. So let me go back to my screen. And let me go back to the minutes of the agenda. Okay, so we approved the bill, and then this was a resolution F. I know Jared needs to speak about that, but he just stepped out. So I'm gonna skip that one for right.
Oh,
Are you
I'm
back?
here. I'm here.
Okay. Okay, cool. Jared, would you like to also speak about that part too, or
Sure. So again, briefly talk. Can everyone see my screen?
let me stop sharing mine.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So again, this is what we did last year as well, just supporting the union. This resolution's a lot shorter, but then that way it's just kind of easier to read as opposed to it felt like last year's one had a lot of information and could have been easily lost in that information. So I'll give everyone like a minute to look at this.
quick question.
Sure.
So is this like a follow-up to what was done prior to this academic year? Because I know last getting to the end of last year, they had a similar negotiation. So I don't know if
Oh.
this is a different one or
Sure. Yeah, that's different negotiations. So the collective bargaining agreement that was signed between the university and the union means that every single year the union has the option to open up bargaining with the university to discuss raises. So you know how like a normal job, you usually get like a 3% raise,
every
like
year, right?
yeah, every year, then like we have the ability to negotiate an increase in wage every year.
Okay, so this year they were negotiating for 20%, but the university says they can do 5%, correct?
Correct.
And that would take effect from 2024, I believe.
Correct.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? And if you guys do need to read this a little bit more, I did send out that email of that resolution. Okay. So going back, who would like to make a motion to approve this resolution?
Made a motion to approve this resolution.
Okay. Who would like to second?
Obviously, Wilfred will second the motion.
Perfect. Okay. So let's see here. Is this also another block, another poll too that I need to make as well? Jared?
Yeah.
Okay. So bear with me. I'm almost done here. Okay. Save. And the poll should be running now. And we have 6 votes.
I voted abstain, just
Okay.
FYI.
Okay. Okay, so I believe that's about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're missing one more person. Okay. We'll wait a little bit. Okay. I'll be closing in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull. Awesome. Blessing will have to leave. will we still make quorum if Blessing leaves?
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
it's just majority, more than half of the members.
More
need to
than
be
half?
here.
Okay, cool.
So as long as they're 5, I think it's okay.
Okay, perfect. You're good to go, Blessing. Thank you so much for attending. Awesome. So, and the bill, the resolution has passed. 5 votes out of 7, 1 abstained, 0 nays. So I'm going to stop sharing. The results. Okay. And then last bill that we do need to make a motion. Where it is? Uh, okay, so who wants to make a motion to approve the bill to amend the grant section of the GPSA bylaws?
I, Eric Eke, make a motion to approve the bill to amend the grant section of the GPSA bylaws.
Awesome. Eric approves. Who wants a second?
Wilfred would like to second the motion. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Let me create that one here. So bear with me as a bit. Bear with me here. Let me create another poll. Okay. And the polls have been open. Please answer those. Mm, 5 people. And the abstain, I know that's Jared. So waiting for one more person to vote here. Just gonna wait for a little bit. I think on the next polls, I should have some elevator music while we wait. Okay, so I'm gonna close the poll here in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ending poll. I'm gonna share the results. And the votes say yay to approve the bill to amend the grant section of the GPSA bylaws. So that has passed. We have 0 nays and 1 abstain because Jared can't vote. And so yeah. I'm gonna stop sharing. Download the results. Perfect. And that concludes our action items. So let me go back to agenda, make sure my screen is not showing. Awesome. Okay, so council announcements. Again, our next meeting is going to be on November 22nd, 2023 at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. I think this meeting is going to be a piece of cake. I know all of us want to enjoy and have fun for this Thanksgiving. So we just want to try to pass any appropriations or any bills before we go on our tiny break. Next week, though, it is our big meeting, our council meeting, and that's going to be at 10 o'clock on Zoom. So hope to see you guys there. I don't know when the next Club 89 or any other events that we're going to be hosting. I think our meet and greet is the last one. I'm not too sure yet, but I'll definitely check on the communique or check you guys' emails. And hopefully by next meeting, the PR will be there, Joseph, to just explain other events that he's going to be hosting. Always remember that our office are open 8 to 5 every day, so you're able to get some coffee, some tea. I've been really grateful to donate some items such as I just donated the coffee syrup. So there's we're trying to make it a little bit bougier, a little bit more like Starbucks vibes. So if you don't want to pay for coffee, you're more than welcome to come to the office and grab some coffee and tea. If you have any questions or just have a thought, let me know. And yeah, who would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I don't think you
Anyone?
need to motion that.
I don't need to, no, don't need to vote. Okay. Well, the meeting to adjourn at 1:31 p.m. Mountain Time. Thank you so much for my first time doing conducting the my first LSC meeting. I'm really proud of myself. Thank you so much for waiting patiently. Hopefully the next minutes and the agenda will be sent out early. Again, I do apologize. It's been a crazy week. I just bought a car last week, and the car engine light came on the second day I got it. So I didn't have a car for about a week, so everything got pushed back. But I've learned that I'm able to schedule emails. So once everything is taken care of here, I'll schedule the email for our next meeting. So definitely keep a lookout. It's going to be the same link as what you're on right now. So again, it's going to be November on November 22nd around 7 o'clock on Zoom. And you guys are free to go. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, drink plenty of cocoa or tea. Don't get sick. Jared, please be well. We love you. He got sick, so recover. And we see you guys the next meeting.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Bye.